even as I'm talking to you, some of you, you're listening to yourself more than you're listening to me. Wow. You are. I can see it on your face. Some of you are receiving the information I'm giving, and some of you are rejecting the information I'm giving you. All right? And that's okay. Whether you receive it or you reject it, that's completely up to you. Right? When we're done, I'm going to go home. And you're going to go home. Does that make sense? All right? It's not going to change anything for me. And if you reject it, it may not change anything for you. But if you receive it, it may. It just might change something for you. Does that make sense? I have to stop listening to me. It's good. I know it sounds odd, but seriously, I have to stop listening to me because I was broke. And I was giving myself broken advice. Does that make sense? And I started listening to successful people. I started listening to the Bob Proctors of the world. I started listening to the Tony Robbins of the world. I started listening to the Les Browns of the world, right? I started listening to the John C. Maxwells of the world. And then my life completely what? Changed. I told you I was going to give you an audio, right? This audio is called The Strangest Secret. It's called what?
The Strangest Secret.
It's called The Strangest Secret, even though it's not a secret. But so many people don't use it, so that's why it's called a secret. I gave you the secret yesterday. How many remember what the secret was that I gave you yesterday? You remember it? 6 words. What is it? Thank you. You become what you think about. That's the secret. That's the secret to life. You become what you think about. So that's why I told you I'm here to really change the way you think. Because what Gary shared with you is powerful. Amazing business, right? The 5 steps to success and going champion. And do you know that if you help 10 people, how many people?
10.
If you help 10 people go champion, how many of you thought champion was hard? Raise your hand if you thought to go champion was hard. Hard. Does that make sense? It's 5,000 in sales. That's all it is. It's not 50,000. It's not $500,000. It's what? 5,000. But we're going to change that today. Because the challenge is you don't really know who you are. You don't know the power that you possess. And that's why you think 5,000 in sales is difficult. Does that make sense? When I got a hold of who it is that I was, who I really was, it took the limitations off of my mind. Does that make sense? A lot of us right now, a lot of us in this room, you have limitations on your mind. That's why you think 5,000 in sales is hard. So it doesn't matter what I tell you. If you don't change the limiting beliefs that you have about yourself, you'll never go and do the work consistently in order to accomplish your goal. But think about it. 10 people in this entire world, right? 10 people in your business that get to champion, ladies and gentlemen, you're going to be making about $15,000 to $20,000 a month. U.S. Your enthusiasm overwhelms me. I'm just about your excitement. Right? I mean, would that change anything for you? $15,000 to $20,000? Then you got to get excited about it. I mean, think about it. $15,000 to $20,000 a month. Like a month. Yes, a month. A month. Hello? A month. Can you imagine? A month coming in? Your account every single month. And that's because you help 10 people go champion. 5,000 in sales. All right? But it's this internal dialogue. You got to get that audio, The Strangest Secret. You got to reprogram your mind. All right? That's going to be the difference. The reason why Kenny is the way he is, the reason why he's so successful, even outside of this business, is because he thinks very differently than everybody else.
Yep.
That's the only difference. It's not that he's better than anybody else. Are you from Suriname? Were you born here? Raised here? All right, so guess what? He's just like you, even if you don't want to believe me. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important. That's why it's so important. That's why he's 20 years old. He's Do you know where she's going to be at 25? You're going to need to see somebody to see her.
Yep. Facts.
Okay, you think I'm joking? I'm serious. But she's right here, right now. She's available to you right now. She's got a different way of thinking. Most 20-year-olds in the world don't think the way she thinks.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys with me on this?
Yes, sir.
No, don't fight me on this. I'm gonna prove it to you that you have the capabilities to be great. That your upbringing and the country you're from and what you've been through does not dictate who you can become. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
All right. So you get that audio. You can buy it. It's on YouTube. All right. The information is out there, and a lot of times the information is free. But you've got to be fanatical about it and say, I'm going to renew my mind. I'm going to think differently. I'm going to listen to this information every single day. And it's not too late. You're never too young. You're never too old to make a change. Your life can change just like that. Moses did not walk into his ministry until he was 80 years old. Kentucky Fried Chicken, the owner of Kentucky Fried Chicken, Colonel Sanders, he didn't actually start KFC until he was 70 years old. So you're never too young, you're never too old to make a change in your life. And it starts with the way you what? Think. Does that make sense? And guess what? You're going to be surrounded by other people that's not in this room. They're going to look at you crazy. That's why I had you do that exercise. When you start building this business and you start talking and you start doing the things that they're going to look at you like, what's wrong with you? Why? Because it's different. It's not the norm. What we were taught was what? Go to school, get good grades, graduate, get a good job. If you can't get a good job, get a job. Just get a job. Right? Isn't that what we were taught? Isn't that what you're taught? Right? So, success. Write this down. In the audio, he talks about success. He says that success is the progressive realization. It's the progressive realization of a worthy ideal. The progressive realization of a worthy ideal. Okay? How many of you, whatever faith you have, and I respect all faiths, all right? How many of you believe that there is a God? Okay? How many believe that? Okay. Now, where is he? Where is he? He's everywhere? How many believe he's everywhere? Okay. Give me another answer. If he's not everywhere, where is he? He's there? How many believe he's up there? I used to believe he's up there. Like he's in the sky, right? Somewhere all the way up there. Where else is he? Okay? Are you with me? Follow me on this. This is important. All right? The truth is that he's in you. That's the truth. He's not up there. He's not everywhere. He's in you. Okay? Now, who created you? Or was it the Big Bang that created you? All right? Who created you? Okay? Now, you were created in his image. All right? You were created in his likeness. Does that make sense? All right? Now, if I'm like something, what does that mean? If I'm like something. How many of you have kids? All right? These are your kids, right? Okay? Are they like you? Yeah? So they have part of you in them. Correct? Now, what's yours is theirs. No. 50-50. Oh, my God. Mom and dad, 50-50. Okay? How many have kids? Right there you have kids, right? All right? So, what you have, your kids have, correct? Correct? When you eat, your kids eat too, right? Okay, when you live, your kids live there too, right? Okay, the car you drive, can your kids go in your car? No. They can't drive it, but can they go in the car? Okay. Sheesh. How many of you love your kids? Raise your hand if you love your kids. My God, all right. Just want to make sure. So if your kids are like you, and your kids are your children, they have what it is that you have. They have access to what it is that you have. Correct? Does that make sense? They carry a part of you in them. Correct? Now, who created the stars? God. Who created the sun? The moon? The waters? Who? You said God? Okay. You sure? Okay. And then where is he? He's in you. And he created the sun. And he created the stars. And he's in you. Are you following me? I don't know why you're laughing, but I'm trying to figure it out. You follow me? So he created the stars. He created the moon. Right? He created the sun. Are you sure? I just want to make sure. I don't want to offend anybody. Or did you think that it just happened? No, right? So he created that. But he's in you. So the same power that created the sun, the stars, the moon, the waters, that same power is in you. You sure?
Amazing.
So why can't you believe you can do $5,000 in sales?
Wow. Come on. Come on.
I'm confused. The stars, the sun, the moon, all the galaxies. He created that. And he's in you. But you're having a hard time believing that you can do $5,000 in sales. Tell me, which one's harder? Create the sun or do $5,000 in sales? You know what I'm saying? Even if I don't go that deep, even if you don't want to believe in God, fine. Do you know that at one point, you, the person I'm looking at right now, at one point, I would need a microscope to see you. At one point, you didn't even exist. You were invisible. You didn't exist. And then when you first existed, I would have needed a microscope to see you. And now, today, you're fully grown, nose, eyes, lips, legs, right? Hair, all this stuff. But initially, I would have needed a microscope to see you. So you went from being invisible, you went from being an object that I would need a microscope to look at, to who you are today. What do you think is harder, to do that or $5,000 in sales? Talk to me. What's harder? To go from being invisible, you were invisible. Now you're here, talking, walking, breathing, interacting with people, versus $5,000 in sales. You see how a limiting belief that you've already accomplished more than everything you could ever accomplish in this business. You've already done more than that. Right? But someone has told you something else. Someone has told you, or someone didn't tell you how great you are. Does that make sense? And that's why you've got limiting beliefs of what can you accomplish, what can you do. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm sharing with you right now, I got a revelation of it in 2010. And I was in tears for 9 days. 9 days straight. on my face crying because I understood it. I literally said to myself, the power that created the sun, the moon, and the stars is on the inside of me. There's nothing I can't do. There's nothing that I want that I can't have. Does that make sense? Absolutely nothing. If he can create the stars, then I can become a millionaire. Right? Because one is harder than the other. Creating stars is a whole lot harder than becoming a billionaire. You hear what I'm saying? Are you guys understanding me?
Yes.
All right? Because see, if we teach you how to do the business, but you still have the same mentality and the same limiting belief, the business is not going to work.
Come on. Come on.
It's just not. You're going to go talk to somebody about the business and they're going to tell you no, and you're going to go, you know what, the business doesn't work. That's what happens. Because you have a limiting belief of who you are, when someone else tells you no, it actually causes you not to believe anymore.
Yes.
Because you have a limiting belief of who you are, not about the business. The business works. The business is not the issue. The issue is you. The issue is how are you thinking. Does that make sense? And what Gary said about your why, raise your hand if you have kids again. Raise your hand, please. You love your kids. Raise your hand. So I find an opportunity where I can give my family a better life. I go and talk to someone else about it. They say no. You say, you know what, you're right. Forget the family. Business is not going to work. That makes sense. Success is a progressive realization of a worthy ideal. You have to have a goal. You have to have a vision. Does that make sense? And listen, it can start at, I want to make $1,000 a month. And then it can go to, I want to make 5,000. And it can go, I want to make 10,000. You got to start somewhere though. So I want you to write this down. How much money? And I want you to be realistic. All right. And what I mean by realistic, I don't mean that everything is not possible. I want you to be realistic based on what you're willing to do from a work ethic standpoint in order to accomplish that goal. Don't write down that you want to make $1 million this month. You're not going to do the work to make $1 million. You're not the person to make $1 million. Because the work. You don't have the mentality. Not yet. You don't have the mentality of someone to make $1 million yet. There's some books you got to read. There's some audios you got to listen to. There's some people you got to spend time with before that can actually happen. And that's okay. It took Gary 5 years. It took me 5 years as well. Actually, it took me 7 years to become a millionaire. Right? But it took 5 years of failure. From 2004 to 2009, failure. By 2011, I made over $2 million. But in those 5 years, guess what I was doing? I was listening to the books. I was listening to the audios. Does that make sense? I was spending time with the right people. I was having the right conversation. I eliminated the wrong people from my life. Anybody that was negative, I didn't talk to them anymore. Does that make sense? Because words are powerful. Words create everything. Right? So I want you to write down, get a blank sheet of paper, and I want you to write down what you want to make this month. How much money do you want to make this month? And I want you to write it this way. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned, I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned, past tense, and I want you to put the number. I don't care if it's $500. I don't care if it's $100. I don't care if it's 1,000. I want you to start practicing the habit of setting what? Goals. That's what successful people do. Successful people, remember I told you, the difference between rich and wealthy and poor and class is that rich and wealthy people have goals. You've got to start somewhere. Does that make sense? Anybody want to share what your number is? How much? 1,500. Awesome. It's a good number. All right. Anybody else want to share your number? 1,000. Good number. Anybody else? 2,000. Good number. Anybody else? How much? 1,000? Good. All right. 1,000. Whatever that number is. Did you write it down? Did you write it down the way I told you to write it down? I'm so happy. 600. Good. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned. Everybody say it with me. I'm so happy and grateful Go ahead and say it.
$2,000.
In the month of November 2023. Say it again. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned. Say your number.
$2,000.
In the month of November
In the month of November
2023.
2023.
That's your goal. Now, here's what I want you to do. Did you write it down?
Yes.
Are you sure?
Yes.
I want you to read this 10 times a day.
Teach it.
I want you to read it out loud 10 times a day. As a matter of fact, we're going to start now. Everybody stand up. I want you to read it 10 times. 10 times. Come on, stand. Sure enough. Listen, you're about to transform a nation. Does that make sense? All right? You're the ones that are going to think differently, that's going to take this information out to the country and change the nation. Up here. Does that make sense? So, on the count of 3, I want you to read it. Read it out loud. Read it with some emotion. Okay? 1, 2, 3. You're going to do it 10 times. 1, 2, 3, go.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $1,000 in the month of November 2023.
All right, do it again.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $1,000 in the month of November 2023.
All right, that's number 2. Do it again.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $1,000 in the month of November 2023.
All right, now, watch how you guys are doing it. I'm so happy that I earned $1,000. It's an emotion.
Correct.
Ladies, is it different if a man says, I love you? Or a man says, I love you? Is it different? It's very different, right? Exactly. So you got to send you. See, guys, you're not talking to me. You're talking to you. You're talking to that other champion that's on the inside of you.
Yes.
I'm trying to drown out that other voice you've been listening to all your other life, right? Trying to drown that voice out and create a whole new voice. Does that make sense? Yes. So you have to speak to that voice with some emotion so it can die. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can't. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $1,000 a month. And hopefully it happens. But I really don't know. This guy is up here talking. I don't even know what color his suit is. It's strawberry. We got 7 more times to say this. I want you to say it with some emotion. Say it like you believe it. You ready?
Yes.
Go.
I'm so happy and grateful now
All right, that's number 4. Keep going again. Say it again. Make sure you say, I earned it. I earned it.
Yes.
More than you say, I earned it. Does that make sense? Is you're putting it in the past. When you say I earned it, it means it already happened. Does that make sense? All right? You're talking to your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is what gives you everything. It gives you everything. Whether you like it or not, it's going to give you whatever it is you give it. Does that make sense? We got 4 more times to say it. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, go.
I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $1,000 in the month of November 2023. I'm so
Go and have a seat. All right, now listen. What I'm teaching you, I taught it, I learned it. I learned it. I used it. I was a 25-year-old grown man living with my dad. Does that make sense? I had a child and I was living with my dad. My bed was a twin-size bed. My TV was the size of my head. That was how big my TV was. My bed didn't even have a headboard. It was just a bed, a box spring, and a pillow. What I'm teaching you is I did this when I was in that state.
Wow.
Does that make sense? I want you to do what you wrote down. I want you 10 times a day. I want you to do it, but I want you to do it in the mirror.
It's good.
I want you to do it where?
In the mirror.
In the mirror. I want you to look at yourself in the mirror and say those words 10 times a day. If you do 5 in the morning, when you wake up, right? And you do 5 at night when you go to bed. How many of you are going to commit to doing this? All right? So you can see words change everything. You are who you are today because of the words you've been listening to.
It's
And
good.
if you don't like who you are today, guess what you have to do? You have to change the what? The words. Because words create. How was this world created? God said, let there be light, and there was light. He said it. Does that make sense? And if I'm like him, that means I have the ability to what?
Create.
Create like him. And even if you don't believe it from a biblical standpoint or from a faith standpoint, from a religious standpoint, I'm going to show you what I'm showing you in the dictionary. What I'm teaching you right now, I'm going to show it to you in a dictionary. I'm not going to show it to you in the Quran. I'm not going to show it to you in the Bible. I'm not going to show it to you in any other religion. I'm going to show it to you in the dictionary. And what I'm teaching you absolutely works. Your words have power. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. So when you're saying this, let me ask you this. How many of you felt differently saying it 10 times? Be honest, you felt differently about it, right? How many of you felt like you believed it a little bit more after you said it 10 times? Right? Because words, that's the power that you have. The power that you have is the words that you're speaking. And I showed it to them. The reason why the mirror technique works, now follow me on this, this is key. Okay? Kenny, watch this. The mirror technique works because who are you talking to when you're in the mirror? You're talking to yourself.
Listen to this. It's deep.
All right? That's what you see, right? All right? Now watch this. In the mirror, though, the mirror is really showing you the opposite of who you are. Isn't that something? The mirror is you, but it's showing the opposite of who you are. So when I would look in the mirror and I was broke, and I would talk to myself in the mirror, I was talking to the opposite of who I was. The opposite of broke is what? Rich. Let me help you a little bit further. What is your mirror made out of? Glass. What's glass made out of? Sand. What are you made out of?
Same thing. Same thing. Same thing.
So the mirror is another form of who you are. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Glass, sand, that's you. This is why, for you to be able to see better, you needed glasses.
Woo.
You get that? I'm trying to show you how powerful you really are. So when you look in the mirror, you're talking to the original source. Right? You're talking to you. You're talking to the sand of who you are. Does that make sense, John? Guys, when you really get this, all the limiting beliefs of what's possible, and the world that we live in today with the internet and social media, you're not just going to have a business here in Suriname. You're going to have a a business all around the world. You guys know I'm not from, this is my first time sitting here. How did I get here? How did it happen? How is it that I'm talking to you now? You see what I'm saying? And I'm not from here. How did it happen? This is how it happened. I wrote down in 2013, really the end of 2012, that I would positively impact the lives of 1 billion people. I said that. I wrote that down. Now those words have carried me all around the world. Later on this month, I'll be in Colombia. I don't speak Spanish.
Neither do I.
But I will impact him. Gary's going to be there too. He doesn't speak Spanish, but he's going to impact him. Your words create, ladies and gentlemen. Say that with me. My words, create my life. Man, isn't that amazing?
Amazing.
Like, isn't that amazing? My words create my life? Wow.
Crazy.
That means I can have the life that I want. I better stop saying rubbish.
Facts.
Listen, I'm a Christian, and I respect all faiths. So what I'm going to show you right now, it's going to change your life. I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. Can I get on? Yeah. Just hold on for that for a second.
Right, what's yours?
Let me get the board. Okay? I'm going to give you guys the ultimate. Everybody say the ultimate.
The ultimate.
Now, this stuff is deep now. Okay? This is the bottom of the ocean right here. I'm going to give you the ultimate. Everybody say the ultimate.
The ultimate.
Success formula. This formula has worked for millions of years. Every successful person to ever walk the face of the planet has used this formula that I'm about to give you. This is the ultimate success, what? Formula. It is a formula. It starts with desire. Everybody say desire.
Desire.
Desire. Say it again.
Desire.
Write this down. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. When I had you write down your goal for this month, when I had you speak your goal for this month, what I was doing was creating a what? Desire. If you look up the definition of the word desire, it means to have a strong feeling to have something. Right? So then you have to ask yourself, how are feelings created? Feelings are created through what? Words. You can either feel good or you can feel bad based on what you're what? Hearing. You watch the news. Do you feel good after you watch the news? No. Right? Do you feel good when you watch a football match? Your team is playing. Do you feel good when you watch a football match, right? Huh? When they win, right? Okay? And when they win, there's certain words that are being spoken that make you feel good. But they lose, there's certain words that are spoken that make you feel bad.
Mm-hmm.
So a desire is created through words. Does that make sense? A desire is really created through your 5 senses. Really, there's 15 senses, but I'm not going to give you all that right now. I'm going to give you your body senses. A desire is created through hearing. Isn't that one of the senses? Hearing? Right? Seeing? Right? Touch? Right? You said, well, what do you mean? What do you mean touch? A desire for something. You'll never desire something you've never touched. Right? Those of you that are married in here, you had a desire for your spouse, right? You would have a desire for them because you what? You had what? Touched them. Does that make sense? Or even before you touched them, you had a desire to what? To touch them. Does that make sense? I'm giving you real life examples as to how a desire is created. You're not going to have a desire for a Mercedes-Benz until you touch a Mercedes-Benz.
Come on.
Are there Mercedes-Benzes here in Suriname? They are? You need to go and sit in one. Why? Why should I go sit in one? So I can touch it. So I can know what it feels like. So I can get a desire for it. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Are there nice restaurants in Suriname? 5-star restaurants? Right? Really nice restaurants? You need to go to those restaurants.
Mm-hmm.
Don't say, David, I can't afford to eat there. Go there. Get dressed. Go there. When you get there, order water. Order tea.
Mm-hmm.
Sit there. Cross your legs.
Mm-hmm.
Act like you're rich. Mm-hmm. What are you doing? You're creating the desire to live a certain way.
Go ahead.
You guys understand what I'm talking about? Okay? Touch. What's another one? Taste. Right? I don't eat everywhere.
It's good.
I got a different taste. I don't stay in every hotel. I got a different taste. Right? You got to change your taste. I got a different taste in clothes. My clothes are custom made.
Go ahead.
I remember I was not making a lot of money, but I invested in buying 10 custom made shirts. It was $500. It was the cheapest custom made shirts we could find. Right? And it was $500 for 10 shirts. And changed my life. Right? Because now I felt different. When you wear a custom made shirt, you feel different. Changes your taste. Okay? What's the last one? Hearing, seeing, right? Smell. Right? When I walk into your home, how does it smell? See, if I walk into your home and it smells bad, I already know you can't get rich.
Ooh.
You know why? Because you can't smell it.
My God.
You're so accustomed to it, you can't even smell it anymore. Hello? I'm giving you the real. When I was starting to get rich, I would get candles. I would make sure my home smelled. I would get these specific candles. They were like vanilla sugar cookie. Because see, guys, what you smell creates an emotion.
Yep. Yes.
You're going to eat? No. I already ate. I'm not full. Don't worry about it. All right? All right? But if I go in there and your cooking smells good, guess what? I'm now going to make the decision to what? To eat. Gary talked about it yesterday, right? Or was it today?
Today, I think.
You know, the cologne you wear, or the perfume you wear.
Yeah. Today.
Today, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, the perfume you wear, it's important.
That's
the cologne you wear, it's important. So when I meet someone, they smell like, man, this guy smells different.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Smell rich. Yeah.
That's it. That's it.
Right? But see, guys, watch this. The expensive hotels and the expensive restaurants, they smell different from, don't they?
Sure.
Right? So I'm going to go spend time here, so now I'm accustomed to a certain way something should smell. What you're basically doing with this desire is you're creating a new comfort zone.
It's good.
I can't be comfortable in the car that I'm driving right now. Does that make sense? Like for me, I wouldn't be comfortable in a Bentley. Does that make sense? I wouldn't be caught dead in a Mercedes. You may say, oh, that's my comfort zone.
Right.
That's up to you. Whatever comfort zone you have. My comfort zone is Rolls Royce. Why? But how did it get there? I had to experience it first.
It's good.
If I never experienced it, it wouldn't be my comfort zone.
It's good.
Is this making sense? Right? So when I say repeat those words, I'm so happy and grateful now. What I want you to do is see what's happening is you're hearing it, right? And if you wrote it down, you're seeing it. That piece of paper, you're touching it. That's what. Remember yesterday I told you I took a dollar bill and I changed it to $100,000.
Yep.
Remember I told you that yesterday?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then I started to change my taste. I started to change what I was smelling. I wanted to smell where rich people were. Right? See, guys, that formula, that thing that you wrote down today, that I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $1,000, $600, or $1,500. You want to hear something amazing? It works for $1,000.
Go ahead.
But it also works for $10,000.
Woo.
It works for $100,000.
Go ahead.
Same formula. All we're doing now is we're in the gym. Does that make sense? We're in the gym together right now, and I'm not going to give you a 100-pound dumbbell to lift. I'm going to say, I want you to lift what you can right now. If you can lift 10 pounds, good, let's lift the 10 pounds. If you lift the 10 pounds, guess what? You're going to get stronger. Then we can go to 15 pounds.
Yes.
Then we can go to 20 pounds.
Yes.
Then we can go to 30 pounds. Before you know it, you're lifting 50-pound dumbbell.
Come on.
Before you know it, if you practice this principle, it'll move from $1,000 a month, it'll go to $10,000.
Come on.
You guys with me?
Yes, sir.
Look, it took me 2 days to get here, so I'm going to give you what you really need. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
All right? So the next time I come back, we got 3,000-4,000 people in the room. You missed your amen. You're supposed to get excited right there.
Yeah.
All right? The next time I come back, there's going to be what? 3,000-4,000 people in the room.
Come on.
Yes.
How many of you believe that? All right. Desire. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. Desire is the starting point of all achievement. What am I hearing? Words. What am I seeing? Images. What am I physically touching every single day? Go get the pictures of the cars that you want to drive. Well, David, I can't afford it right now. I don't care. Go get the pictures anyway. Does that make sense? Put the picture on your phone. Put a picture of where you want to go on vacation. Is it Dubai you want to go to? Is it Hawaii you want to go to? Get a picture of it. I did this stuff that I'm teaching you right now.
It's good.
I didn't just happen to get here. All right? Desire plus skills. Desire plus what? Skills. You now got to do the work. But the work is mental and physical. Let me show you guys something. I told you desire is the starting point of all achievement, correct? I told you I'm going to teach you something that's going to change your life. I got it up here, but I want you to go on your phone. Pull out your phone. All right? Because maybe you think we made this up. Go to your phone, and I want you to go to Google. Come on. Go to Google. You got it up. Say aye. I want you to type in Google the meaning of the word future. 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 The meaning of the word what?
Future.
Future. Who's got it? Who's got it up? The meaning of the word future. You got it?
Yes.
What does it say?
The first sentence. A period of time following the moment of speaking or writing.
I'm going to let him say it again so you get it.
A period of time following the moment of speaking or writing.
The future is a period of time following the moment of speaking or writing. You have a future. Raise your hand if you have a future. Absolutely you do. But your future, based on what the dictionary said, is the time or the period of time following the moment of speaking or what? Writing. So what you wrote down on that paper and what you said is what? The future. I'm going to break it down for you. This meeting that we're having right now.
Go ahead.
This meeting right now that we're having happened in the future first. You get it? The meeting that happened yesterday, it happened in the future first. Do you know how it happened? Watch this. Me and Gary had a conversation. Gary asked me, listen, David, can you come to Suriname? He said, this is what they got going on. This is what's going on. You got 2 rubies, right? Can you come? I said, what? Yes. The moment I said yes, that's when the meeting happened. Based on what my brother read, the future is the time or the period of time following the moment of what?
Speaking.
All right.
Writing.
Now, we spoke it, but then what happened? What did we do after we spoke it? Gary then had a conversation with Kenny, right? And then what did Kenny do? What did he do? He organized it. What else did he do? He created a flyer. Does flyers, does it have words on it?
Yes.
Does it have pictures on it? Yes. Right? Then he started to tell other people, right? That, hey, David Imonitie is coming to Suriname. And most of them didn't believe it at first. They thought it was a prank. Right? That's when the meeting happened, ladies and gentlemen. It happened when we spoke it. It happened when we wrote it down. Now, yesterday, right? Yesterday, the meeting was happening in the present.
Teach it.
Does that make sense? So it first happened in the future, then it happened in the present. Kind of like what's happening today. We said, hey, we're going to do another meeting on Sunday. I said, okay, fine, we'll do another meeting on Sunday. That's when it happened. Now we're having this meeting. It's happening in the what?
In the present.
When we leave here today, where is this meeting going to be? In the past. So the past is the same as the what? Future. So what you wrote down is actually your past.
It's good.
Raise your hand if you understand what I'm talking about. I know it's deep. I know it's tough. All right, but raise it. What you wrote down is in the past. The $1,000 a month or the $2,000 a month, that's in the past now. Because you said it, it's then going to show up in the present if, everybody say if, you don't change the future.
Come on now. Come on now.
That's the key. You can't change the future. Because watch what happened. When I got here to Suriname, I could have changed the future. I could have said, listen, I don't have a visa. I can't get in. I can't be at the meeting. Guess what I just did? I just changed the future. Because the future is the time or the period of time following the moment of speaking and writing. Even though we said we were going to do the meeting, if I then open my mouth and say I can't be there,
wow.
Guess what I just did? I just changed what? The future. Which meant I changed the present. Which meant I changed the past.
Sheesh.
Most of you are speaking your past. And that's why your past continues to be your future.
Good. Good God Almighty.
That becomes your future.
Come on.
Your past is, I don't have any money. Right? Isn't that your past? Right? But you spoke it, so now it became your future. As opposed to, yeah, your pastor's I'm broke, but hey, I'm rich. I'm wealthy. I'm making $1,000 a month. I'm making $5,000 a month. And I don't change it for nobody.
There you go.
I don't change it because someone tells me I can't get into the country because I don't have a visa. I'm calm. Okay, well, we're going to have to figure this out. Because I got a meeting to do.
It's good.
Does that make sense? And the guy let me in without the visa.
He did.
Where do you do that? Where do you let someone into a country without a visa? Is that Suriname? Is that normal in Suriname? No. But the guy looked at me. The guy looked at me and he said, something told him, let that man in.
Yes. Yes.
Do you know what told him that?
God did.
My words.
Mm-hmm.
My words told him, let me in. Because I never said, I'm not doing the meeting. I'm doing that meeting.
Oh, we're gonna figure it out.
You guys understanding? So now when you've written this down, when someone tells you no, don't change the future.
Come on. It's good.
When someone quits, don't change the future.
It's good.
Does that make sense? When someone doesn't show up to your meeting, don't change the future.
It's
Keep
good.
saying it 10 times a day. I make $1,000 in the month of November. I make $1,000. You can say it in November. You can say I make $1,000 a month. All right. So if it doesn't happen in November, guess what? I make $1,000 a month. That month could be December. It doesn't happen in December. That it could be January. I'm not going to change the future.
It's good.
I don't care what happens. I don't care who quits. I don't care who comes. I don't care who doesn't come. We're going to positively impact the lives of 1 billion people.
It's good.
I'm not going to change the future for nobody. Raise your hand if you get this. Raise your hand if you understand what I'm talking about. Okay? Desire plus skills. Plus what?
Skills.
Plus skills. You got to have the skill. Ladies and gentlemen, there's no way around it. You got to do the work. But what is the work? It's very simple. Prospecting. Prospecting means exposure. How many people am I exposing to the business? Gary told you who you need to expose. The champs, children, home, 25 and older, married, kids, right? The professionals, right? I'm exposing these people. You need to expose 2 to 5 people per day. How many people?
2 to 5.
2 to 5 people per day. I don't care if they say yes. I don't care if they say no, because my future is my future. And I'm not going to change my future because someone said yes and someone said no. The words that I'm speaking will bring the people into my business.
Yes, sir. Big.
Does that make sense, guys?
Yep.
So you're going to prospect 2 people a day. Here's another thing you're going to do. Present. Right? Presentations. You got to learn how to present. How often should you present? Guys, if you're really serious, 5-6 nights a week. 5 and 6 nights a week, you're sitting down with somebody and you're showing them the plan. Does that make sense? You say, okay, David, I can't give the presentation. Okay, fine. Write this website down. You ready? Write this website. Go nbupresentation.com. Go nbupresentation.com. Let me tell you one of the most powerful phrases you can use when you make a phone call to somebody. I found a way. Write that down. I found a way. You can say, hey, listen, what if I found a way for you to earn an additional $500 to $1,000 a month? Would you be open to that?
Yes.
What if I called you and I said, what's your name? Rena. What if I called you, Rena, and I said, Rena, listen. I called you with excitement. I called you with enthusiasm. Say, Rena, you're not going to believe this. I found a way.
You're not going to believe this.
Write that down. Write that down. What's your name? Shanitra? Shaniqua? I call up and say, hey, listen. Shaniqua, you're not going to believe this. I found a way. I found a way for us to make an additional $500 to $1,000 a month. You want to know about that? Yeah. I call it with excitement, with enthusiasm. Hey, listen, I found a way. Everybody say that.
I found a way.
I You found
It's
oil.
good.
Right? Isn't that what they do here? A lot of mining, right? A lot of oil here, right? Right? I found it. Come and dig with me. I found a way.
It's good.
I found what?
A way.
A way. For you to make an extra $500 to $1,000 a month. What are they going to say? What are they going to say? No, I don't want to make an extra $500 a month.
Show me.
They're going to say, show me. And guess what you're going to do? You're going to say, okay, listen. I'm going to text you this website. www.gombupresentation.com. It's me doing the presentation for you. Right?
Easy.
Right? What's your name, sir? Pilado? Okay. I call him Pilado. He looks like somebody who likes to make some money. Well, listen, man, you're not going to believe this. You can even say that too. Saying you're not going to believe this. Put that in your script. You're not going to believe this. I found a way. Pilado, I found a way for you to make an extra $2,000 a month. What are you going to tell me? If I call you and I say that, what are you going to tell me? Show me the way? How? How are we going to do that? Tell me. Well, listen. We have an office. I can introduce you to some of my business partners, but listen, I don't want to waste their time. Right? I don't want to waste their time. They're very important people. I need you to watch this presentation first. If you like it, then you can come to the office. You see that? So now, if he watches it, right, and comes to the office, do you know what he's going to do in the office?
Sign
He's
up.
going to sign up. Because he's already seen the presentation. You get what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So I rarely get in front of people that tell me no because they've already seen the presentation.
It's good.
Are y'all catching this?
Yes.
Can you get good at this? Raise your hand if you can get good at this. Raise your hand. You know how you get good at it? By doing it.
Over and over.
When you build that list that Gary talked to you about, right? You build that list of 50 people, 100 people, and you call and say, listen, you're not going to believe this. I found a way.
It's good.
Right? And you call them with excitement and enthusiasm. You're not going to believe this. I found a way. Right? Make an extra $500 a month. Make an extra $1,000 a month. Man, what is it? Listen, I'm going to text you this website. Watch it. We got an office. I'm going to introduce you to some incredible people, but I need you to watch it first. If you like it, then you can come. If you don't like it, great.
Great.
Does that make sense? So I call the next person. Right? So presentations, 5-6 nights a week. And then here's a big one, promoting for events. All right? Promoting for events. Guys, the next big event that we're having is going to be in Trinidad. How many of you can get to Trinidad? Right now you can get to Trinidad. Stand up if you can get, okay. If I said, listen, I got $10,000 waiting for you in Trinidad, December 2nd. You need to get there. Stand up if you can get there. You'll find a way to get there, right? Right? Yes. Why? Because you want that $10,000. So it's not that you can't get there. It's not that you can't get to Trinidad, because you can. Right? You just don't see the value in getting to Trinidad. Does that make sense? Yes. Let me tell you the truth, though. You'll never get to 10 grand a month without getting to Trinidad.
Strong. Ain't that the
Never.
truth?
Never. It can't happen without you coming to a big event. It can't happen without you coming, without you making a sacrifice.
Go ahead.
There's no such thing as something for nothing.
It's good.
Does that make sense? You want to make 10 grand a month, here's what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be in Trinidad December 2nd, and here's what I would do if I were you. I would get 10 to 30 other people on my team to be there with me.
Yes.
Wow.
That's going to put 10 grand in your pocket a month.
Wow.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
So I know you can get there. December 2nd, I'm going to be in Trinidad. The co-founder of the company, Imonitie, he's going to be in Trinidad.
Wow.
Bass Grant, multiple 7-figure income earner, all the way from the U.S., he's going to be in Trinidad.
Yes, sir.
Gary McSween, he's going to be in Trinidad. So all 4 of us are going to be teaching you on how to build a business. Not just you, but we're going to be teaching your group. Even the group you don't have right now.
Come on.
Does that make sense, Gary? That's it right there. It's a Super Saturday event. December 2nd. Okay? Go ahead and have a seat. Desire plus what?
Skill.
Skill. Times faith. Multiply by faith. Faith, 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 faith. Nothing great can happen without the force of faith. I'm going to give you another book that you want to get. You put the self-confidence formula up there? Can I get it up there?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's another book you want to get. You ready?
Yes.
It's called Think You Grow Rich. It's called what? Think, and Grow Rich. Think and what?
Grow rich.
Grow rich. You don't become rich. You grow. And growth takes what? Time. Remember, you were invisible at one point. Remember? You didn't exist at one point. And then when you existed, we needed a microscope to see you. And then over time, you what? Grew. Same thing with becoming rich. You're going to have to grow into it. It doesn't just happen by happenstance. No one ever gets rich and goes, how did I get here? You grow into it. The reason why I'm telling you to get this audio is because in this audio, it has a chapter on faith. On what?
Faith.
On what?
Faith.
Faith. It is impossible to please God without faith. Is on it? Yeah. In this chapter, it has a formula called the self-confidence formula. The only reason why you haven't accomplished your goals, one is probably because you didn't have it. Now that you do, though, you're going to have to develop sufficient self-confidence in order to accomplish it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You're going to have to change. You're going to have to grow. You're going to have to become more. Right? But do you know when you become more first? You have to become more on the inside. When you become more on the inside, you automatically become more on the outside. It's inside out, ladies and gentlemen. Success is a what?
Inside out.
It's an inside job. It's inside out. It's not outside in. It's inside out. So self-confidence, right, is what's on the inside of you. What you feel from me is self-confidence. But my self-confidence is rooted in what I taught you in the very beginning. My self-confidence is rooted in me knowing that the power that created the sun, the moon, the stars is inside of me. So why shouldn't I be confident? Does that make sense? Why shouldn't I believe I can accomplish great? All right? The self-confidence formula. I want you to study this. Okay? I want you to study it. Here's what it says. This is the last thing I want to cover with you guys. Then we have another meeting at 5. How many are going to be at the meeting at 5? Raise your hand, you're going to be at the meeting at 5. You got some guests coming too, right? Okay. Look what it says. It says, I know that I have the ability. I know. Everybody say, I know.
I know.
Say it again.
I know.
Say it again.
I know.
I know that I have the ability
That I have the ability
to achieve
to achieve
the object of my definite purpose in life.
the object of my definite purpose in life.
Okay? Now, this right here, this first step, I know that I have the ability, right? The way I want you to think about it is, I know I have the ability to make $1,000 a month. Whatever that number was, 1,500 was your number, right? I know that I have the ability to earn $1,500 a month. I know that I have the ability to make $600 a month. I know that I have the ability to make $2,000 per month. You have to say that. You have to believe that I know that I have the ability to do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I have the ability to do it. Therefore, I demand of myself.
Therefore, I demand of myself.
Okay, you can say it after me. It's good. I like her. All right. Therefore, I demand of myself.
Therefore, I demand of myself.
Persistence.
Persistence.
That means I can't be in and out. Right? I can't be excited today, lower than a pregnant ant tomorrow. I can't be pumped up today and tomorrow I'm ready to quit. I've got to be what? Persistent. Persistent. Consistent. I've got to be what? Persistent. Right? I demand of myself persistent, continuous action. Continuous what?
Action.
Continuous what?
Action.
Action. Action of what? Prospecting, presenting, promoting for the big event. What am I doing every day? I'm prospecting. I'm presenting. I'm promoting for big events. How often am I doing it? Every day. Every day. Because I said I demanded myself that I was going to be what? Persistent. I said I demanded myself that I was going to take what? Continuous action. The way to self-confidence is through action. You will only be confident in something you do repeatedly.
It's good.
Why is Steph Curry such a confident shooter? Is because he what? Repeat shooting. He's consistently shot the ball. Right? Who's the famous kickboxer here in Suriname? What's his name again? Somebody said, Ricky said his name yesterday. Okay? Whoever it is. How often are they in the gym practicing? Consistent, persistent, continuous action. Did he practice once a month, once a year, and become great? No. So why? Why do we expect us to be great doing not great things?
Come on.
That makes sense, right? Right? Now watch this. You don't have to read after me on this now. Watch this. I demand of myself persistent, continuous action towards its attainment, and I here now promise to render such action. You got to make a promise to yourself that I'm going to render this type of action, persistent, continuous action, regardless of what someone else says. You're going to have friends. What are you doing? What is that? You're going to have friends. You're going to have family members tell you, "What are you doing? Put that down." That's not realistic.
Mm.
They're going to tell you that. But here's what I want you to remember. Never take advice from people you wouldn't switch places with.
Facts.
When someone gives you advice, look at their bank account. Say, do I want this bank account? Nope. Don't take their advice. Especially when it comes to money.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If we're driving the same car, right? I can't take your advice on how to get a different car.
Mm-hmm.
If we're eating in the same restaurant, I can't take your advice on how I can eat in a better restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? I've got to talk to people that have the solution versus talking to people that have my problems. All right? Look at number 2, guys. Number 2 says, you don't have to repeat after me. Watch this. It says, I realize that the dominating thoughts. You don't have to repeat after me. We'll get there. I want you to just really listen right now, okay? I realize that the dominating thoughts. I what? Realize. I what? Realize. I what? Realize. I what? Realize. When you realize something, it's an awakening. Wow, I realize. I realize that the dominating thoughts. So if I make that statement that I told you right, if I make that statement, if you make that statement, the dominating thought in your life, where you're reading it 10 times a day, there's nothing else you're reading 10 times a day.
True.
So that's going to become your dominating thought. You're going to be walking around all throughout the day. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $1,000 a month. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $2,000 a month. I'm so happy and grateful now that I earned $10,000 a month. And that's going to become your dominating thought. Look what happens, though. Look what happens. I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action. You get that? And gradually, everybody say gradually.
Gradually.
Say it again. Gradually. Transform themselves into physical reality. By the way, Think and Grow Rich was written back in 1938. 500 of the richest people in the world, this is their philosophies. This is how they became billionaires during the Great Depression.
Wow.
I realize that the dominating thoughts of my mind will eventually reproduce themselves in outward physical action and gradually transform themselves into physical reality. So as I repeat those words, and we're going to do it again before we close, as I repeat those words, guess what? I'm making that the dominating thought. I'm now going to go and take physical action, prospecting, presenting, and promoting, and it will gradually transform itself into physical reality where I am making $1,500 a month.
Yes.
And it works for $1,500 a day. It all depends on what you want to believe. But we're starting with those 10-pound dumbbells right now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
This formula changed my life. I found this formula back in 2006. Changed my life. Since it would gradually transform itself into physical reality, therefore I will concentrate my thoughts for 30 minutes daily upon the task of thinking of the person I intend to become, thereby creating in my mind a clear mental picture of that person. You got to have a mental picture of what you look like when you're successful. Ladies, how are you dressed? How's your hair? How's your nails? Fellas, how's your haircut? How's your suit? How do you dress? How do you walk? You got to create that mental picture in your mind. Does that make sense? Gary didn't look the way he looks right now. What I mean, Gary.
Facts.
Right? You should see how I looked back in 2007. 2008. Yeah? You saw it? Looked terrible. But in my mind, I was seeing the future.
Yes.
Does that make sense? Number 3, I know through the principle of autosuggestion. This is important right here. I know through the principle of what?
Autosuggestion.
Autosuggestion. You know what autosuggestion is? Autosuggestion is what I'm saying to myself.
good.
Everybody stand up. Everybody stand up. Stand up. Stand up. I want you to bring that sheet of paper out again. Right? The one that has your goal on it. Right? Bring it out again. Number 3 says, I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire that I persistently hold in my mind will eventually seek expression. Basically what that is saying, let me give it to you in English in simple form. It's saying that if you hold that statement, right? And you use auto-suggestion, saying it to yourself over and over again, any desire, which is what you wrote down on that paper, desire, the starting point of all achievement, and I persistently hold it in my mind, right? That means I say it 10 times a day, right? It will eventually seek expression through some practical means of realizing it. What that simply means is, whatever's on that paper, if I hold it in my mind persistently, that paper, those words, will go and find the people
Yep.
in order for what I wrote down to happen.
Yes, sir.
It's magic.
It is.
You understand that?
It is.
I'll prove it to you. Have you ever really wanted a car? And then all of a sudden you start to see the car
Everywhere.
on the road? Has that ever happened to you
Yeah.
before? Okay? Now those cars were always there. You just didn't see it because it wasn't important to your mind.
There you
but the
go.
moment you made it important to your mind started to show you those cars.
Yes, sir.
It's the same way with you. Whatever you put down on that paper, right now you couldn't see making 1,000 a month, or 1,500 a month, or 10,000 a month. You couldn't see that. But when you make it persistent in your mind, now the mind is going to tell you, call her. Call him.
Mm-hmm.
You get it?
Facts.
It's going to go and find the people. I know through the principle of auto-suggestion, any desire. Everybody say, any desire.
Any
Say
desire.
it, any desire.
Any desire.
That's why I told you, go work. I'm going to make $1,000 a day. So I'm trying to be ready now. I make $1,000 a day. And I just snap my fingers just like that. I'm trying to be ready now. I make $1,000 a day. And I thought when I got $1,000 a day, I was going to retire. I was going to move to Hawaii. I was done. But by the time I got to $30,000 a day, I wanted $100,000 a month. So guess what? I'm so happy to be grateful now. I make $100,000 a month. Then I got to $100,000 a month. And I said, man, this is really working. Right? I want to make $250,000 a month. Right? I want to make $500,000 a month. I want to make $1 million a month. Then I start to say, I want to make $1 million a day. And it happened.
It did.
It happened.
Several times.
You understand what I'm saying, guys? But right now, we're just with the little 5-pound dumbbell right now. So, you know what I'm saying? We're just with that. 1,000 a month. 1,500 a month. Okay, no problem. But if you practice this and use it, the number will keep growing. The formula will stay the same, but the number will keep growing.
Go ahead.
Because it says any
Desire.
Any
Desire.
I gotta persistently hold it in my mind, and it will eventually seek expression through some practical means. Therefore, I would devote 10 minutes daily to demanding of myself the development of factors. Right? The factors named in the 16 lessons. There's another way of saying it: the development of self-confidence.
Yes.
So 10 minutes daily, I'm going to be speaking this. Right? But you can do that all throughout the day. All right? You wake up in the morning. Yeah, I'm so happy to be grateful now. I'm making $1,000 a month. I'm so happy to be grateful now. I'm making $1,500 a month. I'm making $2,000 a month. Whatever your number is. Whatever your number is, you have the ability to create that. And don't change the future because of what somebody else did or didn't do, or what somebody else said or didn't say. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Your words can't create your future unless you accept their words. Does that make sense? Number 4, watch this. I've clearly mapped out and written down a description. You wrote it down. Right? Of my definite purpose in life. Right? This is a more in-depth one. Right? I have a simple one. Alright? I've clearly written down a description of my definite chief aim in life, and I will never stop trying until I've developed superior self-confidence for its attainment. So you already did this step. You wrote it down.
Yes.
Remember, the future is the time of the period of time following the moment of speaking or
Writing.
That's the future. Don't change it. You understand what I'm saying, sir? Don't change the future. Even when you get down, don't change the future with your mouth.
That's it.
Does that make sense? Because you're going to get down sometimes. I've gotten down sometimes. I had to change the future. I didn't say, oh man, this is not going to work. No, I kept saying it's going to work. I kept saying we're going to keep believing.
Yes.
I kept saying we're going to get there.
Yes.
We're going to get to 100 million. We're going to get to 1 billion. This person quit, doesn't matter. We're going to get there. I never said, oh, we're not going to get there. See, the moment I said we're not going to get there, I changed the future.
That's it.
Does that make sense? I keep saying the same thing over and over, and I'm going to look crazy. To the rest of the world, it's going to be like, what do you mean? How you gonna $1 billion business? How you going to do it? And network marketing has changed, is different, is this, that, That's what I hear. When people talk like that, all I hear is, ooh. I don't even hear the words.
Yep. Block it out.
Does that make sense? I got it written down. Right? Watch this. I fully realize that no wealth or position can long endure unless built upon truth and justice. Therefore, I will engage in no transaction that does not benefit all human effects. I won't do any cross recruiting. I won't take anybody from anybody else.
That's it.
I won't do anything that can hurt the company. I won't do anything that can hurt someone else in my business. Right? I will succeed by attracting to me the forces I wish to use and the cooperation of other people. That's leadership. I will induce others to serve me. That's leadership because of my willingness to serve them. That's leadership. I will eliminate hatred, envy, jealousy, selfishness, cynicism by developing love for all humanity. When somebody else succeeds, I'm not going to get jealous of that. I'm
That's
not
right.
going to get envious of that. I'm going to celebrate that person.
Yes.
Does that make sense? You want to be sharing the story of Swansea. I mean, 20 years old. 20 years old. You want to share that story with everybody. Come and meet this young woman. She's 20 years old. She's going to be a millionaire right here in Suriname. Come and meet her. But hey, listen, before you meet her, I need you to watch this presentation. If you like it, then I'll introduce you to her. You get what I'm saying? All right? Because you know some 20-year-olds, right? You know some 22, 23-year-olds, right? See? Eliminate hatred and envy, jealousy, all that stuff, right? Developing love for all humanity. Because I know that a negative attitude towards others can never bring me success.
Wow.
I will cause others to believe in me because I will believe in them. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe in each and every one of you. I don't have to know you to believe in you. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And the reason why I believe in you is because I know who's in you. I know who's in you. Who's in you is in me. So for me not to believe in you is to not believe in God.
It's good. It's good.
You know what I'm saying? Look, if you're not going to believe in yourself, then stop believing in God. You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to believe in you, then please stop believing in God. Stop believing in Allah. Stop because He's in you. Does that make sense? And if you carry that knowing, if you carry that knowledge, you know who else is going to feel that? The people you talk to. They're going to feel the God that's inside of you. When the God inside of you gets bigger. Does that make sense? They feel that and they want that. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
All right, we're going to close this training out. with your words. We're going to close this training out with your future being spoken. We're going to say it 10 times, and I want you to say it with passion. I want you to say it with excitement. All right? You got reload? I want you to have reload ready. All right? On the 10th time, I want you to celebrate it. I want you to celebrate what's on that paper.
Yes.
Yesterday was a 2. Today we're going for 10 out of 10. Okay?
Yes.
I want you to celebrate. And don't care about who's next to you. That's the problem with a lot of people. You're worried about what somebody else is going to say and what they're going to think about you. They don't pay your bills.
Yes.
Until they pay your bills, then you worry about what they think.
That's it.
Okay? So, we're going to say it 10 times. You say it with passion. You say it with excitement, enthusiasm. And then, on the 10th time, after you say it 10 times, I want you to go into full celebration as if it already happened. Are you guys with me? Ready? Go. 10 times. Let's do it. You say it. Louder. Open your mouth and say it again.
Energy.
Open your mouth, say it again. Say it again. Say it again. While you're saying it, I want you to imagine what you're going to do with the money. Say it. We got about 4 more times. Say it again. Say it again. All right, now, I want you to raise your hand. Raise your hand. Both hands. Up in the sky. Stretch. Okay? This is a posture of thank you. This posture right here is a posture of what?
Thank you.
It's a posture of gratitude. Does that make sense? Yes. I want you to, now you don't need to read it anymore because now you know it. Right? Because you've said it enough times, right? I want you to say it now, but I want you to say it from a place of gratitude that it already happened. Does that make sense?
Yes.
We're going to say it 2 more times. Ready? Go. I'm so happy and grateful.
Let's go.
One more time. Now I want you to sell. Don't keep your hand up. Don't get tired. All right. Turn it up.
That's
I'll
it.
tell you when
That's it.
you want to get off the ground, right, and celebrate as if it already happened. Turn it up. I'm going to let you know.
Let's go.
That's how you do it, guys. That's how you do it. All right? I want to high-five 5 people. Go crazy. High-five them. Tell them you did it. Tell them you did it. High-five 5 people. You did it. You did it. You did it. You did it. 5 people. All right? That's what I'm talking about. If you do that every day, you'll see people will start looking at you differently. They'll start looking at you differently. Your life will be different forever. All right? Appreciate you guys. Gary, turn it back over.